really, I guess I wanted to spend this business buddy time just going through your what, so what, and now what.
I love it.
I love it too because I use it for everything, and now I'm like, I always give you credit for it, and I'm like, so we don't really answer all of like the things that matter most to our consumer,
Yeah.
which is like the what, now what,
Yeah.
the what, so what, and now what, right?
We totally talk too much. We talk about stuff that nobody cares about, and then we don't answer the obvious stuff. And so the what, so what, now what, when I write a Facebook status, when I invite somebody to lunch, when I write a text message, when I write an email, literally everything from a sales page to a text, the person on the other end is thinking, what is this? Why do I care? And do I need to do anything next? And so that's where I got the what, so what, now what. And it's just a great filter to make sure that you're putting all the pieces together so people know what to do next. Because if you confuse them, they're just kind of like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. What I want to really start with is the what. How can we identify the what really?
I think with the what, it's from a customer's perspective. Instead of trying to be clever, we're always trying to find like the perfect catchy tagline, or like I love alliteration. So I'm like, ooh, how can I hobby, hustle, like words that start, like make it cutesy. And really, like, especially on a website, I think the what is like so boring that you're like, oh no, I want a better what. But from your customer's perspective, the what is pizza by the slice in Virginia Beach. It's not like pizza that'll knock your socks off, something witty with all these claims to fame and too much information. It's social media for plumbers in Virginia Beach, or like something. It's beyond simple and clear.
So it's almost something that they may even search in Google.
Yes,
right?
yes. That's the good way. I'm like, yes, that's why we're business buddies.
Yes.
Because exactly, it's what the problem you're solving is in your customer's words, not in something that's like too clever and cutesy.
And okay, so what about the next like portion of it is
So what?
so what? Okay.
So the so what is, I mean, really, people are busy, and they're just because you have a website doesn't mean they want what you're selling. And so the so what is, if you're putting, like, let's say it's your home page and you put the what up top and you have a nice picture and you have like, I sell cars that are under $10,000, or like something that somebody would Google. I didn't think of that, but I love that. The so what is like, what is your customer actually thinking? Like the what's in it for them? What's the benefit? Most of the time we're like talking about all these features of like, with 3 90-minute sessions, and we'll meet twice a month, and we'll like, and people are like, just fix my problem. Like, don't tell me how you're gonna do it. I don't care how you're gonna do it. I just wanna know that you're gonna make my life better. You wanna talk about getting your customer from where they are right now to where they wanna be.
Okay.
And most people are trying to figure out how to get your customer. They want someone, like, they're trying to convince them to buy into them as a business. Your customer's not buying into you, they're buying themselves a solution to their problem. And so kind of a testimonial and benefits and stuff like that. So the so what is the why should I care? Because they're about to click away, but if you can hook them with like a benefit, they're going to linger to the now what.
And so I guess that's I kind of want to ask you this question then. So the what is kind of what gets them to click on the page, but the so what is what kind of keeps them there and kind of is the motivator between either leaving or staying some more.
Yes.
So it really has to speak towards like them opting into you and opting into the solution that you can help solve for them.
Yes, that's a good, I'm like,
Yeah.
you look at it way better than I do. There's a lot of talk about the why, but most people want to put their why on their homepage. And I don't think that your why necessarily belongs on your homepage. Your why is what's going to attract people to working with you. It's like that story you're telling. But on your first impression, it should not be about you. It should be about your customer. I don't really think that you can have a good so what if you don't have an ideal customer. So you kind of have to have your target market and your ideal client in your head so that you're talking right to them.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that the so what is about you, it's about them. So you have to know who your customer is.
So, do you want to mention that trick that you know how to do?
Yeah. I don't even know where I'm like, I think I just kind of stumbled upon this. But so what I do is I go on Facebook and I type in the search bar, like I always use like people who sell like diet pills and Beachbody and Plexus and stuff like that, because they're always saying, like in all the ads, I'm like, oh, I want to vomit. But it's always like, is your gut flora making you sad? How much probiotics are in your probiotic or blah blah? And I'm like, I don't know anything about my gut flora or how many strands of bacteria are in my vitamin, or that's not a problem that I have. The problem I have is that I have a muffin top and I have to get dressed in the morning and decide between a muffin top and a camel toe. Like, if you talked about that, I would be like, yes, girl, sign me up. I'll give you all my money. And so what I do is I go on Facebook and I type in the search bar, like, real human being words that talk about the problem that you solve. So, like, if you do social media and you know what people want and what they need. Well, you know what people need, but people don't buy what they need. They buy what they want.
Exactly.
So if you're like trying to advertise in social media, you're going to be talking about ROI and you're going to be talking about SEO and all these things. But the people who your customers are going to be like, I opened this darn Facebook page 3 days ago and I didn't make any money yet. So it's like taking the words of your customers. So maybe it's like how to get more customers from Facebook. Type that into the search bar and then read what your customer is saying. Don't read what your competition is saying. Listen to your customers. So maybe you type in, I feel so fat. And this is where I'm like, don't make it your Facebook status. Make it a search.
Yes.
But put in the problem in a human being's like words. Something that someone has asked you that you probably think is a dumb question. Like somebody asked you, like, how long until I run that Facebook ad till I get my money back? Like, and you're like, long-term game here, homegirl.
Yes. And here we are. So we were talking to some guy, and I guess we stole his chairs for his smoke break. So we're just going to
pick up in the woods.
Is that cool? Okay, cool. So let's talk about the third section. It's called Now What, right?
Yes. And now what is really just your call to action. A lot of times you try so hard not to be pushy or salesy that you never ask for the sale, or you never kind of say, hey, book the appointment. And I think that, you want to not be pushy, but you want to act like you know enough to take somebody to the next step. So if somebody's looking to you as like the authority, they want you to pave the way for them and be like, here's the next step. So your call to action, or the now what, if it's a text message, I mean, it could be, hey, can you meet me at 7:00 for drinks? I mean, just kind of land the plane, get to the point. Like, what do I do? Like, so it doesn't go on forever.
We sometimes can get caught up in the what and so what, that we forget that the now what is the simplest thing. Like, what do you want them to do?
Yeah.
Like, you want them to subscribe to something. You want them to buy something. Like, so what are some ways that we could kind of make our now what more permanent?
So I think that with everything, you kind of go into it so you can, just like we said about reverse engineering with your customers' words, if you go into it like, yeah, it's great to tell a story, but is there a takeaway? Is the call to action just like, I want you to learn this and I want you to implement it, and then leave a comment and tell me how it went? That could be your call to action for a blog post. On Instagram, your call to action could be, double click to like it, or go up and click this link. I think that you need to have an appropriate mix so that you still have a giving vibe, that you don't want everything to be like, buy now, buy now, buy now.
And well, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me. I love our Biz Buddy chats. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a wrap.
Totally.
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I'm like, this is what we do anyway, but we just had like a little audience.
Yeah, and
That's
so
fun.
I mean, so our now what is going to be, wherever you're watching this, subscribe to that channel.
Love is
show us some love.
Yes. Yeah, I think
the call to action is show us a little love.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Thanks for letting me hang out with you.